Hey, the audio comes back. There we go. So we're gonna see Nuovo vs Gameroos, the actual grand final, RLOC grand final. So yeah, I'll probably put this on YouTube, as much as Yumi Cheeseman's gonna hate me for it. Like, this is probably the game that everybody who doesn't watch the Australian Rocket League wants to see. If they want to see the grand final. This should be a good introduction for some people to Australian Rocket League. I'll just explain very quickly the tournament that we're watching and what the story of each team is so far. But yeah, we're going to be watching Nuovo against Gameroos, and this is their route to get there. Holy cow, this is almost like I planned it. Amazing! So Gameroos taking down Abyss Esports 4-3, Nuovo taking down Legacy 4-2, and now they're going to meet in the final. Coming into this event, Abyss were the number 2 team in OCE. Legacy were number 2, weren't they? Nuovo were number. Wait, I'm getting this wrong. Nuovo were number 1, Abyss were number 2, Legacy were number 3, if I'm not wrong. And Gameroos were number 10, so Gameroos are the massive underdogs coming into this whole thing, but they've upset their way into the top 8, and they've upset their way into the top 4. Now they're in the grand final against rank 1 Nuovo, who did actually lose their group stage in the top 8 to Abyss Esports, who have now lost to Gameroos. So looking like a pretty interesting matchup, and the underdog being Gameroos looking to make one more upset and take down the whole thing. The tournament was the biggest tournament in Australian Rocket League history. An online tournament with a grand total of roughly 7,000 Aussie dollars, so roughly, a fiver in Great British pounds, but still a lot of money in dollary dues, as it were. It was an 8-week tournament. There were 4 teams auto-invited. Of the 4 teams that were auto-invited, Legacy are the only one of those teams who have made it this far. The other 3 teams who got auto-invited actually didn't qualify for the top 4. Gameroos, Nuovo, and Abyss all qualifying through an open bracket. There were 2 open bracket stages to find 12 teams from 2 open brackets, and then the other 4 teams that got auto-qualified because of their power ranking standings rounded out the top 16. Then there was the top 16 pool stages, 4 pools of 4, with the top 2 going on to a top 8, and that played the weekend before this VOD that we're currently watching, and that was 2 pools of 4, with the top 2 from those pools going on to the top 4 grand finals, which was single elimination best of 7. So a lot of games. This is the culmination of a very big production over at peanutgallery.tv, so definitely check them out if you want to see more Australian Rocket League. As for the tournament so far, we saw Gameroos coming out hot, taking down Abyss, who were some people's favourites for the whole thing. Even though Nuovo were coming in as a rank 1 team in the power rankings before this weekend, Abyss did take down Nuovo in their group. For some people, that was enough reason to think that Abyss were the favourites, but then Abyss actually losing to Gameroos because of Gameroos' superior offensive rotation and just just counterplay. Like, they weren't falling for the trap of counter-attack goals that Abyss were trying to do to them. They did sometimes, but just they managed to not do it too much. But between that series where Gameroos upset Abyss, we saw Nuovo take down Legacy. Legacy, who were for the longest time the rank 1 team in NA. Nuovo came and took their title and took them down one more time to make the grand final. But in between the Gameroos series in the semi-final and this grand final, Gameroos actually, they got a little bit cold. They weren't able to practice at all between these 2 series. Yumi Cheeseman was telling me that they were looking for scrims, but they couldn't find any, and then they had to wait an hour and a half for the other semi-final to get finished, and then there was some more downtime. So they had a really slow start to the series. Nearly getting a goal right there is a good goalkeeper bump, actually. One of the first goalkeeper bumps that we've seen in the entire tournament so far. Because goalkeeper aggression on the goalkeeper is not something we've been seeing much from Nuovo, Legacy, Gameroos, and Abyss. They could definitely do that more. Theater mode, hey, thanks Sony. Well done, well remembered. Gameroos, yeah, sorry, I can't say Gameroos. like you guys do. Alright. Gameroos. It's a bit of a Scottish word for me. Gameroos.
It's interesting though because both of these teams have been more direct in the way that they've played in this first minute than any other sort of encounters we've seen. So
There's some decent passing attempts. Yumi Cheeseman whiffing on his hit. He didn't want to hit it straight to the defender like he did. But the idea to get the ball down on the ground and pass it between you is definitely a good idea.
Mentally is to get something in.
DeBeast going for a bit of a mind game, but Bango not biting, going for the ball instead. That's some solid play.
Whatever it is you need to do to get going, but you can see both these teams are quite evenly matched at the moment, both having to absorb periods of pressure from one another.
Yeah, it's definitely a torn atmosphere here in the supporters.
Oh dear, Nuovo Monteconnor has left the match. That's not good. It looks like one of Nuovo's players disconnected, but Bango and Snarf were able to score regardless, because Beast getting on the wrong side of the wall, or on the wrong side of the ball on the wall.
And here's the interesting thing for me, is that...
Did I say Legacy were the #1 NA team? I meant OCE team. Legacy were the #1 OCE team for a long time.
Quite well because Monteconnor has rejoined the match. Luckily for him, not too much action.
I mean, there are rules to do with disconnects. Playing on is definitely a thing you have to do if you're, let's say that you're in Gameroos' position, you're losing by 1 goal. Oh my word, EMP completely backflipping. Just got away with that one. But like I was saying, Gameroos are down a goal. They should just keep playing. Doesn't matter if the other team have a disconnect or not. Like, disconnects happen. You just have to play on. Unless it happens at 0-0 right at the start of a match, then maybe you could talk about a restart, and you know it's perfectly fine to do that.
He will lock that one up in the top left-hand corner of the attacking arena, and Bango there, I think, just tried to lay that one back for his teammate coming through the middle, but he's overshot the mark there, as has Snarf coming through to try and intercept with the demolition. Bango loving those demolitions in this final series.
Yeah, so far the only goal has come from just a bit of a misplay off the wall by DeBeast in defense. Gameroos nearly scored early with a bump on a goalkeeper, which would have been a very good goal. But Nuovo will probably be quite happy to sit back and defend when they're 1 up. Not going to work here though. It's very good set and finish by Yumi and EMP. EMP getting up so quick as always. Very, very fast in the air. Very deadly in the air.
Gameroos, we said they were fast finishers.
Made your night with my Aussie accent. That's awesome. Who's the best player for Nuovo? Well, Bango's the star player, apparently. I've not seen enough of their play to come up with my own educated opinion, but Bango is the player to watch. Yumi Cheeseman prioritizing the boost over the ball right there, definitely a misplay. Kind of left the Beast in an awkward position. Oh dear, what's happened to the face cam? Wait, what? Does anyone notice his face? What did I do? It doesn't look weird on OBS. Face cam really out of focus, is it? It looks fine on OBS. It's probably just gone out of focus when I wasn't looking.
A goal, and it is 2-1 in favour of Nuovo. That ball is on goals towards Snarf, but he's able to push it forward. Monteconnor combining quite well, all three of them involved in that sequence of play. Great work from Cheeseman to hold that up. The centre comes through. Will there be a pass? Yes, but,
okay.
For them, the time has come to rotate back through. A minute left to play.
Bango's the best shooter. Monteconnor's the best overall. They've all been playing quite well, from what I've seen in the last series that we watched of them against Legacy. Like, neither of these teams had absolute standout players in the semi-finals. Listen, Gameroos are playing very well. I think Cheeseman has sold himself, has undersold himself. That was a fantastic goal. Very well done. Good finish by Cheeseman. Well done. Like, he's told me that I didn't watch this series. He's told me that they played awfully and that they started off terribly because of their downtime, but it looks like they're starting off just fine, if you ask me. They're playing very well. Looks to be a pretty even matchup from game 1. I imagine that the games to follow are not at the same level, but right now this is looking pretty good for Gameroos. Just wait. Oh dear. This was your good game, says Cheeseman. Okay.
but the follow-up should come
It's a
through
really good
soon.
game.
Yeah, 19 seconds.
How do you think as Aussie teams would do against top EU teams?
Long range, defused by the defense of Gameroos. 10
I
seconds
think
to go.
these
Someone's
Aussie
gonna
teams
have
would,
to
the top Aussie teams would probably be on the bubble of EU.
Nuovo
They
right
wouldn't be
now.
completely
That
out
one
of contention.
overshot
No,
Marco
not at all.
Too much gas on that one. That's come in. It hasn't hit the ground yet. Yes, it has. We're going to overtime. Game 1, 2-2. OT starting right now. The kickoff. Bango and Emco head-to-head. That one's pitched out.
I think they'd probably be in the bubble, trying to force their way into the top 10 in EU. For NA, I think that they would be. I think the top OCE teams would be sitting around maybe 7th or 8th in the NA power rankings, probably.
They're fighting hard and they're fighting for what is a fantastic prize pool put up by the sponsors, but that touch from Yummy Cheeseman is crucial.
Not a good touch by Yummy.
Great work from AOE Amp there.
Also, not the best clear by AOE Amp. He could have passed it down to Yummy, but he did hit it instead towards Nuovo's half, and a whiff from a Nuovo player. Yeah, AOE Amp's just caught under the ball. This is why being in the goal underneath the ball is so dangerous, because AOE Amp, he tries to rotate and come at that ball from his side, but just gets stuck underneath it. Really, really difficult thing to do. Or a really, really difficult position to defend from.
Getting that redirection over the top of goals. The goalkeeper there stranded for Gameroos, picking left, right, or center, and Bingo Bango comes in and bongos the goal.
Even Bingo Bango comes in and bongos the goal. It's wonderful.
Is it a bongo?
Oh my goodness. It's a bangol.
Bango.
Bango. Well, he banged in the bongo. He bangoed in the bongo.
Either way.
This is special.
That's fantastic. Either way, that is the first match win to Nuovo. We said that they were more heavily favoured in terms of head-to-head matchups. You've got the current number 1 ranked OCE team in terms of power rankings versus number 10. So on paper, this is a mismatch. In terms of tournament form, these two teams are right up there. You can see this one went down to the wire, overtime the first game.
It was pretty tough banter. But yeah, game 1, Nuovo definitely had the better of the pressure, but there was a couple of fantastic goals for Gameroos. They're looking to be, they're looking pretty strong in attack. I really feel like defensive play is where these top teams are really, really far behind. The likes of Weedham Girls and Mocket EU and even Flipside. It's just, whenever you watch the top EU teams play, look how often there's somebody sitting still in the net waiting for a play. It probably won't be as much as in these games. That being said, for a while, for a couple of weeks, Mocket EU were sitting in the net a lot, and I feel like that was the worst I'd ever seen them play, is when they were just playing super, super defensive, sitting in their net.
What was a closely contested game. Full credit to Gameroos though, because they were able to score against a Nuovo that was sticking to their plan. They're quite well aware of how they match up against their opposition, and we said that this was a mismatch in terms of styles, and Bango scores that first goal, seemingly
more pretty stationary defending.
Here from Gameroos, really dealing with that ball in their own.
I don't know if Yummy was out of boost or something there, but he just kind of gave up the ball pressure for Snarf to ping it midfield.
Coming from the left to the right, sweeping across the goal face, and then opening up his angle to get that one through 2 defenders. That's more about Bango creating an opportunity than Ruse giving one away there. Brilliant stuff there from Bango, and the assist was special off the back wall, and this is going to be trouble time as well, but DeBeast actually
That's not a fantastic hit from DeBeast, but luckily it didn't hit the ceiling, so he got away with it. If that had bounced off the wall a tiny bit lower and gone up into the ceiling, it would have been really bad for them. But it just arced high, didn't touch the ceiling, so they got away with it.
We've seen Nuovo previously score first. They're very, very difficult to run down once they start playing from the front.
Well, it's a floodgate effect, isn't it? Because once these guys...
Good play by Yummy Cheeseman. Yummy, you guys are not playing terribly at all. Like, I know you probably had a collapse and, you're making misplays here and there, but you're making good plays as well. I think it's just a consistency thing for these guys.
Because by the looks of things, Nuovo here are willingly putting
Yummy's saying that all his
it's not gonna
testicles got
help them.
removed. He was indeed
Beast
lacking
mode
some testicles in that last goal they
all into action,
conceded.
and I call it beast mode because that is exactly the caliber of save that he just produced. allowing Gameroos
Right, so a whiff
to
from
maintain what is a
Cheeseman, but the Beast
deficit.
following up on it,
But they need to
actually
find that
beating out
equaliser
Nuovo
fairly
to the
soon
ball.
because Nuovo are just prying at this defense.
They are, and they're also trying pretty hard to deplete the Gameroos boys.
Alright, bye-bye, legs, sir.
Left and right
Oh, excuse me. I can't stop yawning.
Over that boost just as it comes up, but Bango will find that in the corner once again. So Cheeseman's going to have to probably get that boost and deplete the resources for his team. But Bango might actually.
Oh,
like to go
no.
for that one. That's on goal.
Okay.
What a
Oh,
save
man.
from him, but it won't be enough.
I don't know what
Bango
happened to the defense here.
electing not to take the boost
Where
in
did
the
player
end,
3
but
go?
once again,
Oh, Emp's like miles away, and he couldn't get that ball close to the wall. All Emp needs to do there is miss his goal barely, and it's in an unscorable position. But he was too worried about own goaling it, didn't trust himself to make that precise hit to the right, and ended up passing it.
Fortunately for them, Bango was all over that. He anticipated quite well, and got himself in the perfect position to put that away. But
I don't mind that mind game by Emp was actually working enough of the time for it to be worthwhile. He just went for the complete mind game, hoping that the goalkeeper would drive past the ball and he could rush it into the open net.
Absolute clinic there from midfield towards that right-hand wing, dodging and weaving through 2 or 3.
He wasn't expecting you to whiff horrendously. I mean, AoE Emp was pretty far up the field, regardless. Excuse me, I cannot stop yawning. I'm so tired. I need to go get a drink, is what I need.
Just scoring with one player. They'll take the win anyway, but it looks as though Bango's the problem child for Gameroos right now, and they need to address his issues.
Well, that's right. I mean, for Gameroos,
Oh, a pass.
trouble
Well
in
done.
that midfield, and speaking
Well
of trouble,
done.
Bango once again
Good
sets
passing
up
from
Monty
Nuovo. This
here.
is like really, really good passing from these boys. Very, very good goals.
The king of the wings, Monty Connor.
What finish as well.
Quite a distance, but that was Gameroos getting caught
Yeah,
out
these
of
boys can
position. They
definitely
were being
pass the ball. It's very good to see.
wiped out with open nets at the back, and
I love that he just kept that pass low as well. He didn't feel the need to arc it high up for an aerial like so many other people do. He just kept it low, kept it under control. That's how it needs to be done.
It's going to be on a player like Beast Mode, but we've seen Gameroos be competitive so far throughout long series. They're not necessarily quick starters.
Yeah, it would have been fantastic to get a team like Nuovo along to the LAN. Give them a chance to play against the best teams in the world. Give them a chance to practice against some of the best teams in the world. I'm sure that Nuovo could come in and upset a team at the LAN. I think, is it best of 7s or best of 5s at LAN? I imagine it's best of 5s in the first round at the LAN. I think Nuovo could definitely go in and upset. It's not like they would never be the favourites, not even against Genesis or the Flying Dutchman, who are going in as the lowest seeded teams from EU and NA. But even against those teams, I don't think Nuovo would be the favourites, but they could definitely take a series. They would almost certainly take games. Almost certainly take games. They would be a threat against anybody, I'm sure. So hopefully in the future we can see Nuovo or another team from OCE going to the LAN, and also the other regions like Japan and Middle East, South America rather, not South Africa. I don't think they were South African servers. Gotta get those wildcard teams represented.
And this is what we alluded to pre-game, Jim, when the other team is willing to
I think that the biggest thing that they would struggle with is just the speed of the play at the highest level in EU. The teams just play so quickly, and they really bully your boost, and they bump you a lot better. Like, notice right there, that rotation out of net by Yummy. He had no interest in driving into a goalkeeper. He just like got in, centered the ball, got out. He could have taken a slightly longer rotation just to, you know, annoy a goalkeeper on his way out. Something he could have done. I don't see much of that in these games. There's a few demos here and there, but very few times will we see somebody center the ball and then just drive straight across the other team's net just to cause chaos and steal a boost on the way out. Oh dear, that shouldn't have been a goal. Not that it matters, but this is not a very good hitbox by EMP. Not the greatest clear by Yummy prior to that either. Just a bit greedy by EMP not going for the flip. Are there any South American teams? Yep. Are there any Asian teams? Yep. There's a good Japanese team with Lee Reyes and Karocha. What up, Gianna Persistent? How you doing? And the Aussies do have great communication from what I've heard.
They're out for blood in this series and ready to prove that they're the clear and undisputed #1 team in the region right now.
It's a clear and present danger for Gameroos at the moment. They really don't care too much about the scoreline because it was already 4-0.
Torix is first in the 1v1 leaderboard? No way!
In terms of,
I'm gonna stream some 1v1 private matches after I'm done watching the series. I might get Torix in to 1v1 somebody, because I've been wanting to cast some Torix games on my stream. He's a very good 1v1 player. Their team disbanded apparently. Who disbanded? Stony. Oh, Kurocha and Lirays? That's a shame.
Comparatively inexperienced players.
Beckwith Day. Why not Beckwith Rainy?
Re-engage with this match and find victory.
Does the Japanese team look more like NA or EU? NA. Very air dribbly and aerially.
Someone's got to be on Bango duty.
Aussie 1v1s? Maybe. 1v1 is not that interesting to cast unless you're casting like the absolute best players for me. 1v1 Yummy Cheeseman. I 1v1 Cheeseman on EU once and I smashed him. But I also 1v1 Dumbo on EU and he beat me twice. So Dumbo from Alpha Sydney beat me twice in 1v1 on EU. He had 300 ping and he still beat me twice. I was like, damn. I just got wrecked by somebody with 300 ping. Dumbo's very good at high ping 1v1s. Oh, Torix went offline. He probably like stayed up all night getting rank 1 and now he's gone to bed. No. Oh well, I'm sure I'll be able to get somebody.
One of the most talented players going around, as are all these Nuovo guys. They work really well together. And it's going to be difficult for Gameroos to get themselves back in this series. We have seen them come back from big losses before, but I think this is a different kettle of fish right now for them, as once again we see kickoff in Game 3.
Oh, my door's creaking at me.
Really
it's creeping me out.
to come alive, but that's a great start. What a goal!
Wow, what a finish.
Beast mode. Straight
The beast! The beauty of the beast!
Flies high. Rolls to his right.
I wonder if anybody made that pun. That would be my top pun if I was commentating a The Beast girl. It'd be like, the beast with a beauty or something. You're right here. Alright, Jesse, I'll keep you in mind.
The medal to start well to complement that, but we will see a first goal go the way of Gameroos.
Yeah, I don't know. How many of you guys in chat know Dumbo's voice sounds like? He's got one of the most stereotypical Aussie surfer dude accents I've ever heard. It's great. Is that alright, Dumbo? Yeah. How you doing, man? Yeah, Johnny boy, we'll have to do some 1v1s in a year sometime. We'll have to play against each other. I love Dumbo, he's great. What a finish. Okay, oh my word. Great passing off the post. Aussie Rocket League at its best. Kaboom. We had an open net shot for Monty Connor, for Snarf, but Bango's like, nah, I want to hit the post twice and pass it to Monty. Is it good? That's Dumbo alright?
I'm going to say that he knowingly assisted one of his teams.
Yeah, I've talked to Dumbo a fair bit, so I can do his voice pretty well. I love Dumbo, he's great.
Please dial me in with a quality ball off the back wall, and that's exactly what
you can listen to that Aussie accent all night. Well, ask Dumbo. Like, he does that without trying. That is his voice.
Given the benefit of the doubt, given his recent form in front of goals, I will admit that it is likely that he intended that one to come off the right upright. A little bit of swag, a little bit of style. Points coming his
like, no, all of you have to go and listen to, like, all of you who don't actually know what Dumbo sounds like, you need to go and listen to Dumbo so you can compare my impression with the real deal.
That's right. I mean, for comparatively, who was a young player, Bango is actually quite a young player, to show form in an occasion like this.
Oh no, oh no. That was nearly a disaster by Yummy, but a whiff from, I think it was Bango that time.
For him to perform like this,
saving his blushes.
Really shows a coming of age. I think he's only 16.
Yeah, and with a whiff, it's going for the ball there when he really shouldn't be going for it, and then whiffing it was actually a blessing, because if he had hit that, he would have taken away from Yummy, who had a better angle than he did. Good play by Emp though, open net, capitalizing it.
He's provided the spark that the
well done.
Team sorely need to get themselves back into this series.
You mean my impersonation? You're a caster in OCE, you listen to real Aussies. Mine's better. Do the impression? Nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do the impression again because I might do it wrong. You can go watch the VOD. Because I thought it was pretty good that time. I'll probably get it wrong if I do it again.
For Gameroos to find such a quick reply because
Beast was up very early for that. I think he just didn't think the pop was going to go so high. This stream used to be quality Rocket League gameplay. Mate, I've like streamed so many NA games. There's plenty of low quality Rocket League on my channel. Plenty. We get the likes of IBP on here. We get the Flying Dutchman. Loads of rubbish teams.
Nuovo have unfortunately not been able to capitalise on a good situation for themselves.
Not just yet, not just yet, and that one will go towards goal, but I think that
the Shogun one is so good. Yeah, I did a pretty good Shogun. I'm afraid to ever like repeat an impression because sometimes I nail it and then right after I do like a really rubbish second try.
Bit of experience, lovely centre ball there from Bango. Monty Connor can't get the wide, but the interchange.
Sorry Jesse, I just love to burn you.
Pace to get it over the goalkeeper to Beast, pushing that one out of the corner. Monty Connor's flying high and pushing that one off the side wall.
What up? Tight WSW.
Won't get enough on that ball, and now Monty Connor will take
the lovely purple Gibbs hat. Yeah, Cheeseman not getting a good hit right there. And Beast thought he could beat Monty Connor to the ball, but he was wrong.
That side of his vehicle, the dominance, so dominating in this matchup, but
playing slower doesn't mean playing worse. Well, not necessarily, but if you play slow, you're going to get beaten to the ball by teams who are playing faster than you. So what you need to do is learn how to play at Supersonic, because Supersonic is the fastest you can go in Rocket League. Oh, some more OCE Rocket League. Let's watch this highlight again. Sorry, I just have to highlight these kind of things when they happen. And 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. It wasn't as good as the quadruple whiff that we saw earlier. What series did the quadruple whiff happen in? Was it this one? Or was it Gameroos against Abyss, where there was actually the quadruple whiff? That was funny.
What a goal, but Cheeseman, unfortunately for the guy who's had such a fantastic tournament, it started with AoE Amp not getting a great touch on their end, unfortunately ending up with
just not enough. Don't tell him. It was Abyss against Gameroos. Okay, I'll have to make a highlight of that one. That was really funny. Hey Courtney, what up?
They have made Gameroos do exactly just that, but look, at the moment, Gameroos still have some life left in them yet, but they need to get that ball out of their own defensive half.
I mean, the games are close. Even with all these mistakes, Gameroos are making close games, apart from game 2, which was a complete whitewash. Like, they're doing okay in attack. I think it's just their defending is a little bit panicky. And these, like, power shots from Nuovo are giving them a lot of trouble. Like, the Beast for this entire play is just driving in circles, doing nothing. He's not inflating the play. Top 5 ones players in the world. Marky Duda, Scrubkilla, Cuxer.
It's almost as though you connected with him telepathically.
Almost.
Probably Pesci. And Torix, maybe. Although Turbo Pulse is up in there as well. He's not far off.
But it's going to deflect well, and
man, the bangs are coming in.
Gets the hit on, trying to make up for
Top 5 OCE players, I've not seen enough to make an educated opinion.
Centers this one well. Is Bango going to fly through on the right side? He is.
Your nickname in grade school is Shortney. That's pretty funny. That would be really annoying, actually. Any like nicknames involving height would be triggering. Yeah, I could definitely see the tilt. The tilt is very visible from bang, what a finish. What a finish. It doesn't matter though, they've already won the game. But yeah, you can see the whiffs coming in from Gameroos. They're just struggling to find their feet in this game. Struggling to find their feet, or their wheels if you will, in this game. But some good passing, good power hits, good power clears. Pretty good spacing out as well from Nuovo, just outplaying Gameroos.
very, very much a team effort.
Wasteland.
And, I mean, you don't need to look too much further than Monty Connor and Snarf.
So, Gameroos just need to do something to disrupt this momentum that Nuovo have built. They've got 3 games in a row. Now Gameroos need 4 wins in 4 games if they want to win this whole thing. And they're throwing Wasteland into the mix, which is probably a good idea.
I think we've got a Wasteland.
They're just going for a bit of a mix-up here to try and disrupt this momentum of Nuovo, because Nuovo looking pretty unstoppable right now. Dapper's top 5 in 1s? Probably not. Probably not. I don't think any North American players are top 5 in 1s.
One of the only different stadiums available.
If any of you are familiar with Counter-Strike as a title, we refer to Wasteland
A fire animation to queue whenever I want. I need to get some sort of animation,
Everyone
yeah.
knows it. No one willingly wants to play it.
No, it's full of dust.
It's randomized in terms of some of the angles that you seem to get, the trajectories that this ball seems to take. But nonetheless, we're here.
And to be honest, it's not a bad pick for Gameroos. I mean, the regular style stadiums weren't working for them, so this
Good to see Gameroos defending their net on kickoff right there.
And angle changes
Behaving very well.
Off their game. I mean, it might not, but nevertheless, it will continue to be a series here. And
Courtney, how old, man? Getting hit on in Twitch chat. There's a good goal by Cheeseman, well done.
Wasteland work for them. So,
but there's certain things in Rocket League where after you know how to do them, you can't really, like, there's a skill ceiling in some aspects of the game, like getting up to aerials quickly. There's actually, like, there's a maximum speed that you can get up in the air. It involves, like, you know, doing a fast aerial while holding your 2 jumps for longest duration and boosting the entire time. Like, after you learn how to do that, you pretty much peaked in speed and you just have to become more accurate with your final hit. Similar sort of thing with, you know, turning. There is like actually a sharpest turning circle of a car, and if you can turn at the right time so that you don't have to like go left right, you just like turn once, then that's really the most efficient you can be. So there are certain aspects of the game where you can peak in theory, and then it all just becomes accuracy after that. Like after you reach the maximum speed. Oh dear, EMP really shouldn't be popping the ball right there. There was no defender coming in and he just completely screwed over the Beast. That was a big misplay by Emp. Right there, Beast was going to come in and shoot the ball, but Emp popped it for no reason, and then Cheeseman driving off his line when he shouldn't be. Just a lot of misplays right there from Gameroos, but all started off with a bad hit from Emp. How you know Scrub hasn't surpassed Marky? He might have done. I'd have to see them play again, because they played once recently, and no, they played twice recently. Scrub beat Marky the first time. He won, I think. He won 5 of 8 games or something, or 5 of 7 games. Yeah, he won 5 out of 7 games last time that they played on my stream. Then they played off stream and Marky won 8 out of the 14 games that they played. So they're pretty close still, but Marky probably still has the edge.
Matchup to be going down to goals like that. This doesn't bode well for Gameroos. Has their game been a ruse? That's the question. And everybody's
has their game been a ruse? No way. Oh my, that's some pretty decent pun game right there. Has their game been a ruse? Well done. Well done. Oh dear. Oh dear, that should have been a goal. Although I don't think Bango expected the whiff to come in from the defender. He had to recover after he realized, oh, it's actually a shot in the open net. Oh, I missed. Gameroos don't seem to rotate well either. I mean, actually, if you watch the semi-final game from earlier, they were rotating pretty good in attack. It's just in defense that they get in each other's way a little bit. Which is kind of a recurring theme for all of Australian Rocket League games that I've seen, is just their defending is very reactive. And if they can't get hard clear like we just saw, they struggle to get the ball clear at all. Like, contesting with low boost or no boost at all is something I've seen teams struggle doing. You know, they don't use the wall to get clears as much as they should. Most aerials are started on the ground rather than driving up the wall.
this map choice really doesn't look to be working out for.
You love this map because everyone else
Gameroos.
does. I don't really like Wasteland. You hear lots of people say that they don't like Wasteland, and they don't really explain why. Like, the reason I don't like it is because the roof being lower means that you don't get as interesting, you know, aerial battles, and the ball just kind of bounces center a lot. It also doesn't, the wall play isn't very interesting either.
Gameroos have struggled throughout this tournament dealing with teams that just pile on offensive pressure and don't allow them to transition easily out of defense into their offensive sets. And Nuovo
Courtney trying to get Johnny's attention, yeah.
Controlling boost, controlling momentum.
Yeah, Courtney's just using me to try and get famous on Twitch, that's all. Great pass, Yummy. Yeah, Yummy not getting the well clear that he needed right there.
And as we reach the 2-minute mark, Gameroos are in all sorts of trouble here as Monty gets the demolition onto Cheeseman.
That's right, they are being played right now, the Gameroos, quite hard by Nuovo, and that ball again just bouncing so dangerously in front of goals, and it's
Oh, a save. Well, we had some
some
whiffs, but then a decent save at the end.
Get there because there wasn't too much heat on that ball at all, and
But yeah, as I was saying, Wasteland,
very much been
the ball does this a lot. Just rolls up the wall, hits off the ceiling, falls down into the middle. When it hits off the corner, it pretty much always bounces close to the goal. So you don't get very interesting situations like in the midfield in front of goal. It's just an annoying map, like it's very one-dimensional.
Jim, they're running out of boost. The Nuovo players are so adept at keeping
Neo Tokyo being in the standard and rank queues. I actually like Neo Tokyo because the bounces on the ball are like, well, I mean, it's interesting. You get lots of different kinds of plays being happening, but I feel like a lot of the things that happen on standard map don't happen on Wasteland because the ball just sticks to the wall in corners and it falls off the wall at the sides, which leads to very one-dimensional play. What a save! Beautiful save by the Beast.
Right now, it really is a wasteland, and unfortunately for the Gameroos, they will not survive in
why would I do that, Torment?
That side of their natural habitat, which is
Mods are overrated.
green fields and very little wasteland right now, and 58 seconds to go, counts down. Gameroos well and truly out of this one.
How to fly through the air.
Going to have to do something
jump and boost.
pretty phenomenal here to come away
Jump and boost.
with not just a win in the series, but this would have to be a collapse of unfathomable proportions from Nuovo from here on to lose the chance to win that prize money.
I mean, I'm trying my best for Gameroos to cast a curse this one, but it's looking like a self-fulfilling
Trying your best to cast a curse it.
Fairy tale may come to an end, and I do suspect that is the case with 4 goals.
Oh, what a dunk.
To overcome, 20 seconds to do so.
We have to remember though, the Gameroos coming in as the 10th seed have done so well to get to this stage, and they just kind of, you know, couldn't get into this game. They feel like they didn't play well. They clearly didn't play as well as they have in other series. They just kind of had a bit of a defensive collapse, not clearing the ball very well, not passing the ball very well, taking each other's shots when they what's it called? When they're trying to clear it.
Is definitely a series that is concluded.
That is right. So
That is concluded.
Of our Sennheiser Oceanic
He never smiles.
Are none other.
Yeah, smell is overrated.
They've played valiantly throughout the tournament. They were fancied to.
I actually tried to snap you back, Courtney, but my phone Wi-Fi is not working, so rip.
I think that's the most interesting point to note is that they've had to work their way through every stage of competition, and here they are standing victorious at the very end.
But yeah, Nuovo kind of bursts onto the Aussie Rocket League scene, and they're still the best team. Want to post the Gameroos reaction, making it to top 4? Yeah, give me a link of that, Yummy. Give me a link of that. Oh, I just sent my Snapchat. Yeah, easy. But yeah, that's just some Aussie Rocket League. I know a lot of you guys have been interested in watching that, learning a bit more about it. So Nuovo taking down the first big tournament. I think almost 7 grand in prize pool total between the qualifiers and the different stages, including the grand final for 4,500 Aussie dollars.
Highly fancied opponent in 7 games prior to this series. it's entirely possible that over the course of 2 days, upset after upset after upset in their favour, they finally ran out of that steely resolve that we
Of course I
seen
didn't, Courtney.
so
You can't get
much.
what you want.
The emotional investment that
You can't
they
tell
had
me
in
what
the
to do.
previous series with Abyss was probably taxing.
But yeah, I'm
You
gonna
then
show a little
had
clip
the
here just to
group
remind us
up
of,
against them. Full
you know,
credit should go to Nuovo.
Gameroos and their route to the final. They were so happy to get there into the top 4 that this was Gameroos when they did make it into the top 4. Let me see. It's not too loud.
Fucking geniuses.
Holy
Oh my
shit.
God. I just hurt my hand so bad.
2
My
seconds.
house ain't
Guys,
now.
guys,
Wait.
2 seconds. We gotta focus.
Yeah.
I'll stay back.
Whew.
Oh,
Yeah, you're good.
Yes.
you go.
Oh,
Get it down. Get it down. Leave it. Yes! Yes! We're the best! We're the best!
Oh man.
Oh my God. Oh, good fuck. I didn't even start.
Sorry about the
Oh,
feedback.
God.
That ain't me.
Oh my God, I'm shaking.
Oh man.
Oh my God, we are legends. Oh my God.
We are legends.
Oh, you guys. Oh, how did we do that? After so many fuck ups, we still did it.
That didn't work. There we go.
The fact that they were human, but like true champions, they turned
There it is.
delivered the goods when it mattered the most, first against Legacy, and then in the final against Gameroos.
That's right. I mean, with Gameroos, there was always going to be that chance, always that suspicion that when they played so many closely contested matches, beating opposition far above them in terms of rankings, there was always going to be that perception that perhaps they'd played their grand final already and expended all of their tournament magic, you want to put it that way.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they fell short in the end, but still, their efforts part of the prize pool, they'll be taking home $1,000 Australian dollar.
2 mods, yeah, Woody, the second mod of all time on my channel. Congratulations, Woody. But yeah, I'll probably just round off a YouTube video right there. I'm gonna cast some private 1v1s now, so I'm not gonna stop streaming. I'm gonna look see who I can get for private ones. But that was the RLOC, the Rocket League Oceanic Championship. Nuovo taking down the whole thing, so congrats to them. And Woody being nominated or being elected as the second mod ever in my channel. Congratulations, Woody. I know that's a far greater achievement than winning winning 4,000, winning the lion's share of $4,500. Dollary days. But yeah, that was just some Australian Rocket League. I know a lot of you were wanting to see that. I kept about 100 LZs up till almost 2 AM. Oh my goodness, you guys need to go to bed. You guys need to go to bed. But yeah, I'm gonna go and do some private ones casting now. Let me just change to the proper scene. I'll turn that off, I'll turn this on, I'll turn this off. Alright, let's get in Rocket League and see who we can get.